Hello YouTube, and welcome to another video, a CSGO video actually, for the first time in a long while. So for today's video, I got a suggestion or a comment on a video a while back, uh, suggesting that I should do a 40 euro loadout. So I thought, yeah, let's do that. Also, to that person, I'm sorry for not doing it sooner. I had a few, I had other stuff to do and other videos planned and such thing. But here you have it. So this is my loadout for a budget of under 40 euro. And also it's worth to mention that the prices in this video are the prices that are the current ones while making the list. So, but enough talking. Let's get into the list. So we'll go through the list in alphabetical order. So starting with A, we got the AK47 Redline. This is probably the most expensive skin on the list. It's field tested, and right now it's about 13.7 euro. So I'd recommend you get the Redline. You could also get the frontside Misty if you want to put a little more money into the AK. Personally, I like the AK frontside Misty more than the Redline, but the Redline is my second favorite in this price class. So for the AUG we got the Arctic Wolf. It's a minimal wear one and it sells for around 1.5 to 2 euro, somewhere around that range. Yeah, it's a very nice skin. Next up we got the Op Mortis. It's the field tester one and it sells for around a little bit over 3 euro. So it's not that bad for an Op, you know. You know, the Op, the AK and the M4 are like, well, personally, it's the three weapons I like to put a little more money into. Next up we get the CC Auto Red Aster minimal wear. It's around half a euro, a little bit more, somewhere around that. But for that price, I think it's very good actually. I like the kind of red, black, gray, and white color combination. Yeah, for half a euro, it's quite price worthy, I'd say. For the Desert Eagle, we got the Desert Eagle Light Rail. Now you might have seen this one coming, and because it's just a very good looking skin for a very cheap price. It's minimal wear, and it sells for around 1.5 to 2 euros. So it's just very solid skin for the Deagle. For the Duel Berthas, we got the Dueling Dragons minimal wear. They sell for around 30 cents, so it's not too bad. I mean, most people don't want to spend a lot of money on dual Berthas, you know, because most people don't use them that often. But yeah, it's a solid skin. Next up we got the Famas Valence field tested. It's around 1.40 euro, so a bit more expensive than the other skins. But I would say it's worth it because surprisingly, this for a field tested skin, this has very few scratches on it. It's the mag, you know, that's the problem of it. But you know, this part is, you know, I wouldn't say flawless, but very good for considering it's a field tested skin. For the 5.7, of course, we have to go with the monkey business. It's the field tester one, and it's a little bit under 2 euros. So for 2 euros, it's a it's a good skin, you know. It's a must when you're buying a 5.7. If you don't have 2 euro, get 2 euro. You know, it's it's 100% worth it. So for the T-side auto sniper, we got the Hunter. I've used this in previous lists, but it's a solid skin. You know, it's 9 cents. Who doesn't have 9 cents? You know, it's cheap, and this one is factory new. But you could choose for field tested or any other quality really, because this doesn't really change much depending on the quality. Next up we get the Galil Firefight minimal wear. It's about 70 cents, and it looks very clean. You know, there are very few scratches on it, and it just looks very simple and very clean. For the Glock we get the Moonrise. It's the minimal wear one, and it sells for around a bit over 70 cents. And And yeah, it's all the Moonrise skins are very solid and very good. So if you're looking for a cheap and good looking Glock, this is probably the way to go in my opinion. For the M249 I went with the Spectre. It's around 15 cents and yeah, I don't personally use the M249 very much, so I wouldn't spend a lot of money on this, yeah, shady weapon if you say it like that. But yeah, there's a few options you can go for if you don't want this cheap weapon or this cheap skin, or if you want to go even cheaper, there's a few options as well. Now we're coming up on the M4s, and for this I got a little special. I'll show you one expensive A1 skin and one cheap A1 skin, and same for the A4s. So starting with the A1s, I'll get the expensive option is the Nightmare. It sells for around €5, and yeah, what can I say, man? I just like blue skins or turquoise, so this is probably one of my favorite skins in the game. It just looks very cool and very solid. For the cheap A1 skin, we got the M4A1 Flashback. This is, yeah, uglier than the last one, but still okay. If you look at the other M4A1 options in the price class, this is really the only alternative I would say. This is field tested one and it sells for around €80. Now for the M4A4s, we'll start off with the cheap one, and that's the Magnesium. I think I've used this in previous lists, but it's just because there are very few cheap M4A4s out there. There is only a limited amount, and this is by far the best looking one, so that's why I'm using it so much. But it's the minimal wear one, and it sells for around 60 cents. For the more expensive A4, we got the Griffin minimal wear. It sells for around €5.30, so about the same price as the Nightmare. But yeah, this is a solid M4 skin in my opinion. That's really not much more to say about it. Next up we get the Macten Lapiscator minimal wear. It's around 20 cents, and personally I don't really use the Macten that much, so I wouldn't really put a lot of money towards a good looking Macten. But that's just me. If you like the Macten, you can buy a more expensive skin if you want. Next up we got the Maxim Heaven Guard. Yeah, this is a solid skin. It's the mineral wear one, and it sells for around 20 cents. For the MP5, I've gone with the Agent. Now, since the MP5 is relatively new, there aren't really that many skins for it, but this is a very solid option in my opinion. I like the blue, black, and yellow combination. It looks very good. It's field tested and it goes for around 40 cents. For the MP7, we get the Armor Core. This is just a very simple skin. It's only 19 cents in factory new condition, which yeah, this is the factory new one. So yeah, an okay skin, I guess. For the MP9, we get the Deadly Poison. It's also 19 cents, and yeah, it's an okay skin. Considering the options for this price class, it's kind of outstanding, I would say. This is kind of the only MP9 in that price range that I like. For the Negev, we got the Lionfish. Now same as the M249, I don't really like spending that much money on the Negev and the M249, so I've gone with the cheaper skin here. This is the Lionfish, and it's the field tested condition, and it sells for around 40 cents. But if you want to go even cheaper, you get the Negative Terrain. For the Nova, we get the Walnut. It's kind of it's simple, you know. It's only gray, so there isn't really much of a skin. Like this part is all the same. It's only the handle and the stock that is really different. So yeah, it looks cool. You get the hunter vibe of it. So I like it. It sells for around 30 cents. So for the P2000 we got the Pulse. It's field tested and it goes for around 20 cents. So it's very simple, very solid, kind of standard. For the P250 we got probably one of my favorite P250 skins. It's the P250 balance, and it sells for around 25 cents. So it's very cheap, but it looks so good. I mean, personally, I'm just a really big fan of blue skins, and it just looks very clean and such. So for that reason, I like it very much. Next up, we got the P90 Grain, and it's only, considering this skin is only in 20 cents. I like it very much. It looks very simple, very clean, and green is just a nice color for skins generally. So yeah, it's nice. Next up, we get the PP Bison Photic Zone. It's field tested, and it sells for around 20 cents. Now, I don't use the PP Bison, so I don't like it. So yeah, it's a simple cheap skin. Now, if you some reason decide to use the revolver instead of the deagle, this is the skin for you. It's the grip, and it's very simple. It's 9 cents. So there you have it. For the startup, we get the Origami. It's field tested, and it's only 10 cents. But yeah, this is the only okay looking skin in the cheaper price ranges. So if you're on a tight budget and you want a startup skin, this is the option for you, I guess. For the scar, we got the blueprint. It's the field tested one, and it's only 9 cents. So, but for 9 cents, it looks kind of good. Next up, we get the SG Danger Clothes. It's the minimal wear one, and it goes for around 10 cents, so it's very cheap. But it looks okay for its price. For the scout, we get the Abyss, and it's a battle scarred one, and it sells for around 25 cents. But yeah, personally, I like the battle scarred version more than the factory new one, because as you guys might know, the higher the float, the whiter this part gets, and the lower the float, this part gets more blue. But yeah, I prefer this version. Next up, we got the Tech9 Icecap. This is the minimal wear one, and it sells for around 20 cents. But yeah, it's okay skins. Tech9 skins generally tend to be a bit more ugly than other skins, so it's kind of hard to find a cheap, good-looking skin for the Tech9. Now for the UMP, we got the Exposure, and the UMP is a weapon that has a lot of good-looking skins that are very cheap, or yeah, good-looking skins in general. Yeah, this is the field tester one, and it sells for around 30 cents. So for that price, I think it's very good. It's very clean, and yeah, it doesn't really have many scratches on it. Next up, we get the USP Cyrix. Now, my other option would have been the USP Torque, but this is a little bit more expensive, but it also looks quite a bit better. Yeah, but I like the black, white, and red combo, and it's very clean. And this is the field tester one, and it sells for around 1.5 euro. Now for the last skin, we get the Ultra Shotgun Oxide Blaze. So again, back at it again with the Oxide Blaze skins. And yeah, they're very solid, and all of them are very cheap, so it's just a good option. And this is the minimal wear one, and it sells for around 10 cents. So that is the video done, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and if this video helped you, then please do leave a like. And if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. And with that said, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!